Intuition is something which you develop by yourself over the years of practice. You can call that instincts, which you say which is right or which is wrong, which is harnessed like for over years when you practice. You know this is good. So once you see a site or some building and you want to have a concept, it just falls in. The idea falls in, which is your own and which is original. So that is called intuitive approach. So which cannot be explained in terms of what it can't be explained exactly, but it's subjective. But the intuition is within you, which will tell which is right or which is wrong, and that's how we approach for any particular project. That's what we always feel when I take any particular project. I always feel that intuition gives me the right concept for the project. I would use it when it requires to bring certain sort of identity or certain sort of protection that way, rather than I just want to use ACP. No, I wouldn't use that. But there are certain buildings which I've used for a particular function or a particular requirement. I've used ACP to emphasize a particular element. I've used and to give. Suppose they want the image. The building identity to be. For example, if you want it to be more predominant, I've used. I've used also ACP, especially white color ACPs. I've used wherein I made this facade pure white, which from far you say is never an ACP. But which created a good clean finish. So such buildings I've used ACP rather than like everybody using in commercial projects. So I'm a little bit particular about using ACP in a right way, rather than just people say, okay, we have a building covered up with ACP and structural glazing. So that is my way of using ACP. Now the concept is called interactive facade, rather than just the building what you want to see. So interactive facade means you can have, like for example, you can have solar panels taking energy from it. You can use it. So in those places we have used as ACP for shading devices. Okay. We've used, and some of the ACPs where we've used is like western facade, where we want to have louvers, so the shading on the west, or in the southern facade where we want shading, we've used the ACPs rather than on the elevation we've used as louvers, overhangs. So that way I've used, rather than just using it straight on the facade. Residential is, we get to experiment more because clients are more receptive and it's easier to do. Commercial, we have a problem of client restrictions where we can't experiment. Probably we have not done any software parks or something like that which we could experiment. So commercial is quite difficult. Industries, since it's very large, so it's become expensive. So we are not able to experiment there, but we use in the corporate offices. We have used ACP where we can experiment a little bit on ACP. And residential, yes. Residential, but we don't use fully, we use for all those borders. Then we use for canopies. Then we use for lightweight structures. Suppose you want a structure to be erected immediately for lightweight structures, ACP is a good option. Just put steel structure and put ACPs, you can be quickly done. There we have used ACPs. I would say Coimbatore, we are on a good pedestal compared to other cities where it is not commercialized architecture as such. And most of the architects here are genuine, have their own ideas and thoughts. You can even see when you're going across Avinashi Road, or you don't see jarring buildings and all, but every building is tasteful. So I think Coimbatore is a little bit better than other cities. Normally we say Bangalore is a very good design center, Cochin is a design center. I would put that Coimbatore is also becoming a design center, unlike other cities where commercialization is more. Here I think architects have a taste, and each architect building is unique and unique, and it has its own identity. Compared to other cities, there are more of, apart from architects, there are lots of other people who are into the business who create buildings without not understanding what is the value for the building, just for the building. But here I think one is the citizens here are intellectually better. So obviously the city reflects their character, and so they also search for architects who need good buildings, and so we deliver to them. And I think we are also a good design center where I think architecture is not much commercialized here. Because there was a period where it's called postmodernism, where they had lots of columns and arches and all that, which has spoiled most of the cities. But I think Coimbatore has very few. I don't think you've seen few buildings where just imitating historical architecture, elements of historical architecture. So that period we were safe. I think Coimbatore is not spoiled in that way. Now we have neo-modernism and contemporary architecture. where the buildings you can see it's contemporary and it's a neo-modernist, what we call it. What aluminum composite panel means, I was always looking at composite panel, but there are other cladding materials like zinc, then we have bronze, brass, then we have even stainless steel. There are materials which have come up into the market, and we have been using them also. Of late, I think ACPs are also trying to bring those finishes onto the ACP material rather than having the mundane colors.
The copper aluminium composite panel.
on ACP. Yes. And even there are, I think, ACPs with the mirror finish.
Mirror finish also. Yes.
So those will help architects to explore and bring about a new language for the buildings. I've done one house in Karur.
Okay.
Karur we have done, an introvert house.
Okay.
It's very close to my heart. The introvert meaning the beauty of the house lies within the house rather than from the exterior.
Okay.
So it's more about the space. When you enter the house, how you feel, how it's open up, where's the garden, how you look at it. From outside look very bland and plain, but inside it just gives you a surprise. Okay. So like a character, you have introvert and extrovert character. That's how we call it introvert. Okay. Extrovert means the building will be all jarring and you can expect all sorts of language in that. But introvert is like, it will surprise you once you go inside the house. When you come, outside be calm, but inside you have a different feeling. So that's what introvert is. See, ACP, what we expect is, so many people have come to the market and gone, and they have claimed so much. And we found that the material which they claim, the durability which we see on the facade, sometimes the skin peeling, and so all that has happened in the Indian market. So we are looking at somebody who can give a product which stands in time, and because people are investing so much. So that's what we expect. One is durability and it stands in time. One is that. And second is service. I think service, fine, you guys are okay. That I've seen okay. But we had lots of problems with other companies which we had used. So architects are a little skeptical about using ACPs. So they go for international products like other companies, international brands. So Indian brands, since it's the nascent stage, we expect that sort of durability on the market, and should not be more cost conscious. You should be open. Should be open to clients and say no. If you go for a lower product, it won't stand. You should stand for your value for your product rather than just for the product. Just for the project, you just sell the product. So that's what we expect from a company like you.